Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This time, Leo sent me Nicole. And this 2020 film was directed by James Schroeder and stars Tamika, Shannon, and Stephen Wesley Green. With this one, I think the official synopsis is like a first date gone wrong, but it's so much more than this. It's about this woman named Nicole, and she is a high-functioning alcoholic, and she goes on this date with this, coked up guy who likes to date rape women. And so it's really interesting what they do on their date and how their date turns out. And are they also psychopaths? Well, you'll have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so what works with this film? Well, for me, I really liked seeing their date. I don't see that many, alcoholics and rapists, going on dates. And that was really interesting to see. She shows up and just starts drinking and drinking and drinking. And I'm like, girl, drink him under the table. Show him what's what, like make him pass out. And so I thought that was really interesting to see how their date progresses and about how she's really knocking them back. It's really funny. I know it's a serious topic, but at the same time, they do kind of have this comedy aspect to it as well. I think I'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, their date was just so interesting to see what was going on and to see how things unfolded. In addition, this movie has a certain surrealism about it. It's very well shot, very well edited. The music is great. And all of that put together creates this real surrealism feel to it. It's mostly done in black and white. However, there are a few moments of color, and you kind of discover why there is color in her life at those moments. But it's all really well put together and very interesting to see kind of this surrealism kind of unfold in front of you. That was so interesting to me. And lastly, this movie is funny. I definitely laughed a few times. I know comedy is subjective, but I definitely laughed a few times. Just kind of at the absurdity of some of the things. It's definitely a B movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. And so they just kind of this screwball, comedy thrown in there. I think the first time I laughed, she's going to work and stuff, and, she has this big, tin box she's carrying around for, the first 10 minutes of the movie. I'm like, what's in this box? Is it her lunch or whatever? And then just on her way out, she, bumps into someone and says, oh, these cookies are for you. And I'm like, what? What's going on? Why are you giving these cookies to him? It's...
I made these for you.
Wow, thanks.
Very interesting. It's very funny that way, kind of just kind of screwball things that they just kind of throw in there that, do make me laugh as a B movie lover. All right, so what doesn't work with this film? Well, this is a low budget film. I think they use their budget accordingly, but because it is low budget, it's mostly people talking at a bar or people talking in a room. For the subject matter, I think it's fine. However, I can see that turning people off. Also, I think the third act is much more of a character study than it is an action or a suspense piece. I think the climax actually happens just at the beginning of the third act, and then it goes into this character study of Nicole, where you really do kind of figure out what makes her tick and what not. And I enjoyed that, but I can also see that being a turnoff for some people. In addition, I thought the subject matter was quite jarring at first. It's about an alcoholic and then a person who's trying to date rape her. That's not something you normally expect, especially in kind of a comedy thriller. That's intense. And so when I first saw Nicole, she wakes up and starts chugging vodka. And that was, quite jarring for me. There was nothing about that in the trailer. Like, I never even expected that. Like, that's something you usually don't see in this type of movie. And so that was quite jarring. I did get over it and, learn to love Nicole. But, yeah, that's definitely like a hurdle that you have to overcome. And that brings me to who I would recommend this movie for. Well, I think if you like watching movies alone, this is something, definitely worth checking out. Maybe even open a beer or whatever it is you like to drink and drink along with Nicole. Of course, don't play a drinking game. You'll die. She is quite the alcoholic. Oh, Nicole. Oh, Nicole. Yeah, definitely that type of person. If you like thrillers, this is also worth your time as well. As for a rating, I thought this one was a good bad movie, so I will give it the good bad score of 4.5. And having said that, I think that's all I want to say, so like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.